Today we're going to talk a little bit about a common houseplant called anthurium. The name comes from the Greek word anthos for flower and aura for tail. They're members of the arum family, or Araceae, the same family that peace lily belongs in. So if you see the resemblance, that is why. Now, members of this family have a colorful bract, also called a spathe, that's the part you see here, and a tiny spike of flowers called the spadix, which you see here. Now the spathe comes in a few different colors. Usually you'll see shades of red or pink. Sometimes you'll see almost an orange, kind of a flamingo orange color. And also there are sometimes mixes of a creamy white and pink and green. So a little bit of variety out there, but a lot of times you'll see just red like I have. Now in the wild, you would find these in warm, humid climates in South America growing as epiphytes. So when we think about care of anthurium, we need to provide the same sorts of climate, which would be warm temperatures and good amount of humidity. So I like to keep plants in my office, but if you were keeping them at home, a bright area in the kitchen might be good, or also in a bathroom to provide that humidity. Now this plant was given to me in 2015. So we're going to take a look at the roots. And you can see that the roots have really expanded to fill the container. We might say it's a little bit pot bound. They like this in general, but it's time for a bigger container. So what I need to do is break up all of these roots to get it ready for its new pot. All right, so now the roots look ready. I've chosen a pot that has good drainage. As you can see, it has a tray attached to the bottom, so water's not going to be sitting in the container. These plants do not like to have wet feet. While they do like a good bit of moisture, they don't want to be standing in water. If we take a look at the soil mix, you can see that it is high in organic matter. So I've chosen to mix a combination of a succulent potting mix, which means lots of pore space, good drainage, and also an orchid mix, so something with a lot of organic matter. I'm putting a few scoops in, so I want to make sure that I get the plant at the right height. Let's see if that'll work. Think a little bit more, otherwise it might have been planted a little too deep. So we'll scoop just a little more. Let's try that. Move it off to the side. Now we're just going to continue to fill with the soil. I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top. I'll probably leave an inch or so space. All right, you always get messy when you're repotting plants, but that's easy enough to clean up. This plant should be much happier now that it's got its new container. I'm going to remember that when I bring it back to its permanent location, that I want to get that soil wet. Now it was pre-moistened for today, but we don't want to overwater. So I usually water about once a week. I keep it pretty hot in my office and let it dry out slightly in between waterings. Now it does want bright but indirect light, so I usually do keep it in front of a window. And if you provide it with the conditions that it likes, it will rebloom throughout the year. And one of the best characteristics of Anthurium is that the flowers are long lasting, about 6 weeks for each flower. So it really can provide color year round and is pretty easy to take care of. If you haven't considered Anthurium as a houseplant, I'd encourage you to do so.